All right, so the summer is in the dog days right now, and us NFL fans are really struggling. At the time of recording this, actually, the Hall of Fame game was the previous night, so at least we're getting something in terms of football. I thought today, though, in terms of the football spirit, football season, preseason's just around the corner, why not do a division predictions video? We're going to do the AFC East and the AFC North in this video. Obviously, there will be other parts about it, but I figure we shouldn't try to cram all the teams into one video because that would be way too long. So let's start off with the AFC East. And first off, we're going to start with the New York Jets. So the biggest concern really for the Jets is, will Justin Fields be able to do more than Aaron Rodgers? Because the Jets were expecting a very different version of A-Rod than they actually got. So the bar is pretty low. It seems like the Jets are at the beginning of this new cycle that they're doing. They've got new head coach Aaron Glenn, who's a great coordinator. He did a lot of good work on the Lions last year. But it's just something about the Jets, whether it's, a guy like Robert Saleh or somebody else before him, they seem to just suck the life out of all of these bright young coordinators that come to try to turn the franchise around. Typical for a cursed franchise like the Jets. As for their division, I don't think they have much of a chance. I like Justin Fields a lot. He did just get injured in practice about a week ago, so we might have to stay tuned for that. Maybe the backup will be better. I don't know. Maybe we'll get another Mike White situation. But I think that the Jets are finishing last in this division. They lost a lot of good roster pieces, and their money is tied up in pieces like Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson, which, leads them in a tough spot if they need to get another quarterback or pay one of their other young rookies. So I think, the roster's the worst in their division. They have a new head coach, not great at the quarterback situation, so it's not looking good for the Jets, unfortunately. All right, and now on to the Patriots. I think the Patriots are in a great position to surprise a lot of people this year. I think it's almost the total opposite of the situation that the Jets are in. They have a great head coach now. I like Mike Vrabel a lot. I think he did great things with Ryan Tannehill. I mean, he took Ryan Tannehill to an AFC championship in Tennessee. So if that's not an indicator of a good head coach who's going to do everything for your team, I don't know what is. They've made some huge upgrades to their roster as well. Guys like Stephon Diggs, Milton Williams, Carlton Davis, all guys who were brought in through free agency or trades that are definitely going to make this roster better. This was one of the worst rosters in the NFL for the past 2 years, and I think that it's done a complete 180. They do have a lot of good rookies who I think will be able to walk right in there and make some plays right away. A guy like Will Campbell is going to do wonders for Drake May because he was just having no help behind their offensive line last year. So I think all of these weapons, also apart from the fact that I do think Drake May is going to take that next big step as a quarterback. Obviously, he wasn't in the best situation, so we didn't see the numbers like Bo Nix or Jaden Daniels last year. But, if you watch the games, you see he's got the arm talent, he's got the eyes, the physicality, all the tools. So I think the Patriots will actually surprise a lot of people this season. They could definitely take one game off the Bills, maybe even go toe-to-toe with them. And, yeah, I think they have an outside shot at making the playoffs. I don't think they're winning the division, but they definitely could get into a wild card spot now that they added that 7th seed. Now we're going on to the Miami Dolphins, and the Dolphins just, no one really knows what they're doing. They lost a lot of key players. They got rid of Jalen Ramsey, no more Raheem Mostert, Teron Armstead's gone, Kendall Fuller's gone. At least they got back Minkah Fitzpatrick, though, which, is kind of like a knock on the head, I guess, because, why would you trade for him in the first place when you had already drafted him way back when? But Fitzpatrick's back. The cornerback position definitely remains a big question mark. Same thing with the quarterback position. They're most important. Like, is Tua going to be able to play more than 8 games, or is he just going to take all of his hits on his head again? Who knows? I don't know if the Dolphins really, even if Tua plays all 17 games, I don't know if they have a chance because this is a tough division, and they are going to have to go to cold environments to play in December and January. Possibly. So we all know what happens to the Dolphins in cold environments. So definitely a limbo year for them. I'm not really sure what step they should take to move forward because you've got Tua locked into a big contract. Guys like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are still on big deals. So we really have to see what we can look forward to from Miami. Still have a high-powered offense that is capable of dropping 40 points on anybody with those receivers that Tua Tagovailoa has. So we really will see. I think Mike McDaniel needs to pull his team up by the bootstraps, as per se, and stop running it like a daycare. And I think the Dolphins would be better like that. As for the Buffalo Bills, the division champions from last season are also going to be the division champions for this season. I think that the AFC East is like, the Patriots are definitely the Bills' biggest adversary. And even then, I think that the Bills are going to steamroll this division. I think they'll go like 12-5. Maybe lose one game to the Patriots, and then the Dolphins could get a surprise on them. But other than that, I don't really think that anybody else is challenging for this title for the Bills. For the Bills themselves, they've lost some key pieces like Mac Hollins and Amari Cooper on offense. They signed guys like Elijah Moore to fill that gap, and obviously Dalton Kincaid's still there. James Cook is still there. Keon Coleman's only going to get better. So hopefully their offense shouldn't dip too hard. And we've seen that Josh Allen has been able to do more with less in previous years as well. On defense, they mostly remained the same. They got rid of Von Miller, replaced him with Joey Bosa. I think that's a big upgrade. Bosa's younger, stronger. He's got better stats at this point in his career. Well, actually, no, he doesn't. But he should be able to stay healthy at least, given that. The rookies, guys like Maxwell Hairston and TJ Sanders, both should be able to make an impact right away. I know that the corner position is still a bit of a question mark for Buffalo, but I think if these rookies can really step up, Hairston specifically, then the Bills can have a great year. As for the division predictions, we're going to go with the Bills at the number 1 spot, and they're winning. The Patriots are going to come in at number 2, Dolphins 3, and the Jets 4. I think that these are probably the best division predictions I'm going to make. We're going 4 for 4, 100%, no doubt about it. And now we're going to be going to the AFC North with everybody's favorite dumpster fire, the Cleveland Browns. So the Browns have a lot more attention on them in the offseason than they normally do. I mean, everybody always expects them to be terrible, and I think they're going to be terrible again too, but it's definitely going to be with some interesting storylines. Obviously, the biggest one from this offseason is Shedeur Sanders. I mean, he fell all the way to the 5th round. Nobody was expecting that. Below guys like Dylan Gabriel and Tyler Shaw. So will Shedeur be able to command that number 1 quarterback spot right away? I don't think so. They do have 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks on their roster in Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco. So Shedeur's got a bit of a upward path to climb before he claims the starting spot. He'll probably be the starter by like week 8 or something. Flacco's going to get injured, and as an Eagles fan myself, I've seen that Kenny Pickett can't really lead your team, even when your team has A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley. So maybe Sanders is their best chance. They also got Dylan Gabriel. Who knows what that guy's going to do? He's 5'8" and got steamrolled as the number 1 seed in the college football playoff. So, yeah, I wonder what he can do. It was also the questionable trade during the draft when they traded back from their number 2 pick to the number 5 pick, because many considered Travis Hunter to be a generational prospect because of the way that he can play both sides of the ball. And I guess Cleveland didn't want to take a player with that much risk or that much upside. I'm not sure, but they traded back to number 5. Jaguars got Travis Hunter, and the Browns got Mason Graham, who's a good player, I think. Definitely the best defensive lineman in the draft, not named Abdul Carter. So we'll see how he relies on the Browns. But at the end of the day, these are the Cleveland Browns. They've lost a lot of pieces. They don't really have a lot of experience at quarterback. I mean, they either have too much or too little. Their offense, apart from David Njoku, they lost Nick Chubb. I don't really see it. So, yeah, it seems like it's going to be another year of purgatory for the Cleveland Browns. And moving on to the Cincinnati Bengals. We already know how the Bengals season is going to go, let's be honest. Joe Burrow is going to throw for 10,000 yards, 60 touchdowns, and the Bengals are going to go 8-9 with missing the playoffs. In all seriousness, I do think a watered-down version of that is going to happen because The main reason that the Bengals didn't make the playoffs last season was that their defense couldn't stop anything. I think it was the 31st or 32nd ranked defense in the league. So one of the worst, if not the worst, defenses was holding back Joe Burrow from making the playoffs on probably his best statistical year ever. We all know that their offense is going to be a highlight reel. I mean, you got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Still got their tight ends like Mike Gesicki. Chase Brown's a good back. So they'll be fine on the offense. I'm a little concerned about their defense because it seems to be looking worse and worse for them. The Shamar Stewart situation actually seems to be drawing to a resolution, and it looks like he will be playing for the Bengals this year, which is big for them. But that doesn't really mean much when you unexpectedly lose one of your best guys in Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson, the guy that leads every player in all sacks in the past 3 seasons, is still unsigned. And I think that Mike Brown is fumbling a generational opportunity here, because with a guy like Hendrickson, you really don't know when you're going to get another one, and I think that they're just being too crass with their players. I think it's going to be another middle of the pack season for the Bengals, though. We all know the story of them so far, so how should we expect anything different unless this defense can make a big jump? Now, the big question for the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to be whether or not they can get past the wild card round, because it's been the same story for the past 10 seasons. They go 9-8, they make the wild card round. They look like a team that can maybe make an upset only to lose just in terrible, embarrassing fashion in the wild card round. So maybe Aaron Rodgers, now that he's on the Steelers, can elevate them to like a 10-7 record with a devastating loss in the wild card, or the divisional, excuse me. I think that could be considered a successful season for the Steelers in and of itself. About their roster, they lost Najee Harris. That's definitely going to be tough for them. I mean, I don't think Najee Harris is that good, but he does have 4 straight seasons of 1,000 yards, and that's always something. Always the threat of a 1,000-yard rusher can really take the blame off of some of your passing game. They got rid of George Pickens, replaced him with DK Metcalf. I think that's an upgrade. So we'll see what DK can do in a Steelers uniform. Their defense is still going to be really good. They have Cam Hayward. They extended TJ Watt. They got Darius Slay and Jalen Ramsey at the corner spot now. I think that amount of experience will be great. And, I don't think it makes much of a difference, though. The Steelers are going 9-8 and probably going to lose in the wild card round to, like, the Bills or something. It's just how it works. And the Ravens, will this actually be the year for the Ravens? That's kind of the entire point of this season, is that basically anything short of a Super Bowl appearance will be seen as a catastrophic failure. And Lamar Jackson will have totally lived up to his name as a playoff choker. I still think he is a playoff choker, but he needs more time, I guess. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But if this year doesn't work out for them, I don't know, man. Their defense is looking really good. They've added Jair Alexander to that secondary room. Malachi Starks joins that secondary room as well. He's going to make big plays. He can be a day one impact player. Same thing with the edge rusher, Mike Green. He's going to do some great things for this defense. They've locked up some other parts of their offense. Ronnie Stanley and Pat Ricard, 2 underrated names who are definitely driving forces in the run game. So the run game will be really good again this year. I mean, they have Derrick Henry. Not as good as Saquon Barkley, though, but that's neither here nor there. And, they have DeAndre Hopkins now on offense. He joins with guys like Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews. Not the best skill room in the league, but it's definitely serviceable for Lamar. Turns out DeAndre Hopkins actually isn't washed as well, as we saw in the Chiefs' playoff run last year, so that's pretty cool. For division predictions, let's just be super boring. We're going to go Ravens 1. They'll win. Steelers 2. They're going to sneak in with a wild card spot. Bengals at 3. And the Browns, unfortunately, again, it's going to be another year of last place.